While we on the gifted track, man, I got John Gifted in the building too. Y'all make some noise for John Gifted. You super talented brother. Get it on the floor, get it on the floor, get it on the floor, get it on the floor. You don't wanna party when your ass gotta go. You don't wanna party when your ass gotta go. Let's do your dance on the floor, bounce dance on the floor, break dance on the floor. Let's get it on.
It's been a while since I haven't performed. School, life, and all that, so I'm gonna try to perform this on top of the head. If I mess up, please bear with me. And it's been a while since I haven't performed. If I mess up, please bear with me. I have it on the phone. Alright.
You got it.
One time in high school, while walking next to a glass-like wall, I saw a reflection of my father that made my heart drop to my stomach because I was sagging my pants like my peers do. So quickly I pulled up my pants, looked back and forth and saw no father, and came to the realization within the reflected glance that it was my own reflection. I used to remember wondering, how can I be the son of a man whom I seem to despise so? This Haitian guy never took the time to realize that I was simply a teen desperately trying to fit my triangular self within these square moron friends.
That's alright. That's alright.
Alright, we'll start again. One time in high school while walking next to a glass-like wall, I saw a reflection of my father that made my heart drop to my stomach because I was sagging my pants like my peers do. So quickly, I pulled up my pants and looked back and forth and saw the father and came to the realization within the reflected glimpse that it was my own reflection. I remember some days I used to wonder, how can I be the son of a man whom I seem to despise so? This Haitian guy never took the time to realize that I was simply a teen desperately trying to fit my triangular self within these squared moron friends. This just come of a father only saw wrong in everything I strong believed in. We never clashed. What I mean to say is, my father stands 5'11", 200 pounds, and me back then, a 5'2", barely 100-pound high school freshman. So physically I was outsized and outmatched, in age and skills. Let me not forget to mention that my father was in the army, so he knows a thing or two. And once, while very young in Haiti, I witnessed my father strike fear in men twice his size with just his look. The man ruled with an iron fist. My father was on my top 5 list of haters. And man, did he never receive any love. I mean, my young sister, brother, and I would desert a room whenever he walked in to escape conversation with him. His presence was always so heavy that he always reminded me of Darth Vader with his heavy breathing like... I used to think how glorious it could and would have been if he wasn't, if he was dead. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a bad child. I just simply lacked the maturity to comprehend. But now, at the age of 27, with comprehension, maturity, a high school diploma, and a college degree, I have come to the final realization that my father's iron fist rules have molded me into the young man I am becoming to be. And that is why I want to publicly announce, from son to father, man to man, I love you, Dad. He who has worked one too many jobs to put shelter over my head, food on my plate, electricity for my TV, and he bought me a car for my birthday when I was 24. My father and I were never cool enough for him to teach me a thing or two with the ladies growing up, but he forever told me to respect every woman, no exception. And one time when I got in my 20s, he told me that I don't need a big penis to make a girl come.
Rewind.
My father and I were never cool enough for him to teach me a thing or two with the ladies, but he forever told me to respect every woman, no exception. And when I got into my early 20s, he told me that I do not need a big penis to make a girl come. He said all I have to do is simply open my mouth and say, Vinlati Sheri, or Vinaki Mami. And for my Frenchies, simply something like Parisi ma belle. And if none of it worked, of course I can result in the English version like, come here, bitch. I'm just kidding. He forever told me that you are a Haitian man, meaning to never forget about my culture, my heritage, that I descended from the legacy of many great men and I ought to carry the torch in this American land for my children's children's children. His ideals and teachings are the genesis of my roots, hence birthing this gifted man of a poet. My father's love and affection towards my mother are the quintessential modules that turned me into such a crazy lover. He may have nothing materialistic to give, but I have watched him through the years give his sweat, blood, and tears working to provide for the family that God entrusted unto him. By any means necessary, my dream is to grow up becoming half the man he is, minus the temper, and the other half my mother, because they are the role models that guided me during my vulnerable years. Now, if only I could summon the courage to tell them that I have a tattoo, that's for another story. Thank you.